President Loretta Scott, and myself, Council Vice President Adam McFadden.
Thank you, Vice President McFadden. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 349, legislation approving a wage and salary increase for employees of the Rochester Housing Authority. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 350, legislation for an amendatory agreement with Kronos Incorporated. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Vice President McFadden, do you have a motion for introductory number 351?
Yes, Madam President, I would like to make a motion to amend introductory item number 351, correcting the title of the legislation to authorizing agreement for financial empowerment centers planning grant 2018.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of amending introductory number 351, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. That carries 9-0. Now let's vote on introductory number 351 as amended. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 385, a resolution establishing the schedule for council committee meetings and public hearings for 2019. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 386, a resolution establishing the schedule for regular meetings for 2019. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Councilmember Patterson, the Neighborhood and Business Development Committee report, please.
To the Council, the Neighborhood and Business Development Committee recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 352, authorizing the sale of real estate. Introductory number 353, authorizing a lease agreement with Abbott's Frozen Custard Incorporated. Introductory number 354, authorizing a lease agreement with Rochester Youth for Christ Incorporated. Introductory number 356, authorizing the acquisition by negotiation or condemnation of properties and abatement, demolition, and environmental due diligence activities to effectuate the Bull's Head Urban Renewal Plan. Introductory number 357, bond and ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of 1,375,000 bonds of said city to finance costs of the acquisition, abatement, and demolition of properties to effectuate the Bull's Head Urban Renewal Plan. Introductory number 360, adopting a finding statement for the vacuum oil South Genesee River Corridor Brownfield Opportunity Area Implementation Strategy. Introductory number 363, authorizing payment in lieu of taxes and loan agreements for the Veterans Outreach Center at Liberty Landing Affordable Rental Project. Introductory number 383, authorizing the acquisition of 1540 and 1560 Lake Avenue. Introductory number 384, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of 2,346,000 bonds of said city to finance the cost of acquiring 1540 and 1560 Lake Avenue. The Neighborhood and Business Development Committee recommends for consideration the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 355, determinations and findings related to the acquisition of properties to effectuate the Bull's Head Urban Renewal Plan. Introductory number 362, amending the 2009-10, 2014-15, 2015-16, 2016-17, and 2017-18 consolidated community development plans and authorizing appropriations of community development block grant funds to infrastructure improvements. The following entitled legislation is being held in committee. Introductory number 358, amending ordinance number 2018-35, authorizing the acquisition of 855 West Main Street. Introductory number 359, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of 1,095,000 bonds of said city to finance the cost of the acquisition of 855 West Main Street. Introductory number 361, amending the zoning map for 5 and 15 Flint Street. This report is respectfully submitted by Council members Willie Lightfoot, Council member Jacqueline Ortiz, Council Vice President Adam McFadden, and Council President Loretta C. Scott, and also myself, Michael A. Patterson.
Thank you, Councilmember Patterson. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 352, legislation for the sale of 3 properties. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 353, legislation authorizing a lease agreement with Abbott's Frozen Custard. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 354, legislation authorizing a lease agreement with Rochester Youth for Christ. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 355, legislation relating to the acquisition of properties in the Bull's Head Urban Renewal District. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Councilmember
I'd
McFadden.
like to speak to this. Before we vote on this, I would just ask that the administration do everything possible to preserve the businesses that are on the corner of York and West Main. Those businesses would be Andy's, Mr. Doug's, and Universal Heating and Cooling. I think we've heard from those businesses that they really do not want to give up their properties. I understand that we have to move forward because we have 13 properties that we need to acquire to make this site developable for future development and to clean it up. But those businesses are vital to my district. I actually have used all 3 of those businesses in my time living in the district, and I know many of my constituents use those businesses. So it would be my hope that if we vote for this tonight, that we would try not to take those properties, that be a last suggestion versus the first, or last option versus the first, and that we make sure that the people who run those businesses don't see themselves on a bad end of a city deal.
Councilmember McFadden, I can assure you that we are going to do our due diligence in trying to work with the businesses located at the corner of West Main to give them as smooth a transition as possible. We have our architects and engineers and our team in neighborhood and business development working and talking to them as we speak to try and alleviate the business concerns. We will do everything possible to try to come to a resolution that's beneficial to all parties. And as you know, we have been in discussions with them. There are some environmental concerns there, and we will continue to do our due diligence and work with them to make sure that we do not disrupt the business and try to do it in such a way that is beneficial not only to those businesses but also to the constituents of the Southwest District in the city.
Okay. All those in favor of introductory number 355, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 356, legislation relating to acquisition by negotiation or condemnation of properties and abatement, demolition, and environmental due diligence activities to effectuate the Bull's Head Urban Renewal Plan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 357, a bond ordinance to finance expenses related to the Bull's Head Urban Renewal District. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Clifford? Yes. Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Lightfoot?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz? Yes. Councilmember Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spall?
Yes.
Vice President McFadden?
Aye.
President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 360, legislation adopting the finding statements for the vacuum oil South Genesee River Corridor Brownfield Opportunity Area Implementation Strategy. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Nay. Motion carries 8-1. Introductory number 362, legislation relating to community development block grant funds for infrastructure improvements and commercial corridors. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 363, legislation for an agreement with Veterans Outreach Center for the Liberty Landing Affordable Rental Project. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 383, legislation for the purchase of 1540 and 1560 Lake Avenue. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 8-1. Introductory number 384, a bond ordinance to fund the purchase of 1540 and 1560 Lake Avenue. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Clifford? Yes. Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Lightfoot?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz? Councilmember Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spall?
Yes.
Councilmember Vice President McFadden?
C.
President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 8-1. Councilmember Patterson, do you have a motion for introductory number 358, legislation amending ordinance number 2018-35, authorizing the acquisition of 835 to 855 West Main Street?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to discharge introductory number 358 from committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of discharging number 358 from committee, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Abstain.
You do too? Okay, so motion carries 6.
702? 702.
I thought you said William. Thought it was Mitch, but okay. Motion carries 702. Now let's vote on introductory number 358. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Abstain.
I do as well. Motion carries 702. Councilmember Patterson, do you have a motion for introductory number 359?
Yes,
Bond ordinance.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to discharge introductory number 359 from committee.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That motion carries 702. Now, that's the amendment, right?
Okay.
Now let's vote on introductory number 359. It's a bond ordinance and requires a roll call.
Councilmember Clifford?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Lightfoot?
Abstain.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Councilmember Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Spall?
Yes.
Vice President McFadden?
C.
President Scott?
Can I abstain? Motion carries 702. Councilmember Patterson, do you have a motion for introductory number 361?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to discharge introductory number 361 from committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Molly, did you say something?
I'm an aye. I was actually waiting to see if anybody was going to make a
Yeah, I
comment.
thought we were going to hear some speaking on this
Well,
side.
we have to
Wait,
discharge
let's-
first.
We got to discharge.
Got to discharge
Yeah.
it first.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we've got 8-1. That carries 8-1. Now let's vote on introduction number 361, and there are speakers. Councilmember,
Again, this is a project that's in my district. I just want to inform the community of Plex that we heard back from our own lawyers and our own zoning office that we cannot make a CBA a part of a condition for zoning. And we cannot, basically bind the CBA to a zoning request. But I will say this, our intention is to have a CBA. We can identify that as part of a pilot request or pilot agreement from the developer. We can do it at that point. This zoning change is basically saying that we're going to give the developer the opportunity to negotiate with Exxon on the 31st to try to pay for getting this done. There are no public funds for cleaning up this site. We have to identify somebody that's responsible for doing it, And Exxon, from my understanding, has agreed to do that, and I think we need to let that cleanup happen. This is not an easy vote for me because I tend to want to give my constituents the time that they're asking for, but I'm concerned that even if we gave you that time, that agreement would not be met. When we sat here on Thursday, we asked for a response to the 8 points that the developer said he would agree to, which was fair housing, which he said he would do, affordable housing set aside, he said he would do, jobs, investment in the park, community space, all those things which were part of the CBA, he agreed to do that. And from my understanding, there still was no ability to put together a CBA. And we were not looking for a CBA. We were just looking for something binding that could get us to this point. And I still think a CBA could be done, but I think we could do that at the point that we have a plan, a pilot agreement, or any public funding on the table for the project.
Councilmember Patterson.
Thank you. Monday last week, myself, Councilmember McFadden, and Commissioner Mohammed met with Plex. Last week, Tuesday, I met with the developer during the day, and at 8 p.m., myself, Councilmember McFadden, and Commissioner Mohammed met with Plex and the developer. A good conversation was had, and it was agreed that the developer and Plex would continue to talk. Tuesday last week, after our committee meeting, we had a quick standing meeting, and both parties agreed that they were making progress. Today, we had another standing meeting, and both sides agreed that they are making progress. I understand that Plex feels that rezoning the said properties limits their negotiating ability. It does not. Yet what has enhanced your negotiating ability is your commitment to engage in the process. Contrary to your belief, trust in the process, you do have some trust in the process, and you should have some trust in the process. It is as though you have this strange belief that you stand alone and that all are against you. They are not. And though I cannot speak for anyone on this council other than myself, I certainly do not stand against you. You deserve to be heard, and you were heard. And we came to you to hear more from you. And based upon what we heard, we learned that there are better places in the process to consider a CBA. And so on some level, I have to congratulate you, because the question is not, what is a CBA? The question is not, why a CBA? The question is, when a CBA? Keep talking.
Councilmember Spall, did you have your hand up?
I'm good, thank you.
Councilmember Gruber.
Thank you. The only thing I want to add to what we heard from my colleagues over here is that this vote is specifically about rezoning so that we can do the cleanup. It does not take away the leverage to continue to work on the CBA, and I would expect, Mr. Masacci, that you would continue to have those conversations with the Plex Neighborhood Association, as you've been doing. Both yourself and Mr. Hall from the association have both made it clear that conversations have been going on. This should not stall those conversations, and my expectation would be by the time something does come back to council, which it will, whether it's for a site plan or something else, that at that point there is the framework and the parameters in place so we don't have to act like this hasn't started already. It started. The Plex Neighborhood Association has done a tremendous job of making it clear what some of their concerns are. Mr. Masacci has clearly been willing to have those conversations. Please don't let them stop. Please continue to have them so it comes back ready to go.
I promise, Malik, I'll be brief. I just want to point out, I think, that at this council meeting, which I don't think I'm telling too many people in this room anything new, environmental contamination in the city of Rochester is virtually everywhere, right? And it is a problem that we constantly have to face, whether it's the parcels on Lake Avenue, whether it's the vacuum oil site. This is something that the city of Rochester does not get a lot of help with, and it should. We'd love to look to the federal government to help us with that. I think we all know that that's very, very difficult. But it's something that's very scary to residents. We understand that. I think we could do a better job, and I would ask the administration to help with this and to sort of get the word out about what contamination means, what cleanup means, what we can really expect in terms of cleaning up properties to make them safe and healthy for families. So, let's keep talking about that issue in particular. And I think DHD, Tom, your level of involvement with Plex is to be commended. It is something that we are looking for in the Charlotte project as well. So let's recognize that when it's done, and we'd like to continue to see that level of involvement. Thank you.
There are no further comments. We'll vote on introductory number 361. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-1. Councilmember Evans, the Parks and Public Works Committee report, please.
Yes, Madam President, and to the council. The Parks and Public Works Committee recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 364, authorizing an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Monroe for solid waste and recycling services. Introductory number 365, authorizing additional funding for improvements to the Cobbs Hill basketball courts. Introductory number 366, authorizing appropriations and agreement for East Henrietta Road Improvement Project, South City Line to Staniel Drive. Introductory number 367, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $230,000 in bonds of said city to finance construction and construction inspection services related to the East Henrietta Road Improvement Project, South City Line to Staniel Road. Introductory number 368, authorizing appropriations and agreement for the 2018 Preventative Maintenance Northeast Group Number 1. Introductory number 369, a bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $825,000 in bonds of said city to finance construction and resident project representation services related to the 2018 Preventative Maintenance Northeast Group 1 project. Introductory number 370, amending ordinance number 2017-12 and appropriating funds for the 2020 Preventative Maintenance Northeast Group Number 11 project. Introductory number 371, authorizing agreements and appropriating funds for the Frederick Douglass Community Library Green Roof project. And introductory number 373, authorizing an amendatory agreement for the Reynolds Street and Seward Street rehabilitation project. Introductory number 374, authorizing additional funding and amending ordinance number 2017-360 in relation to the Main Street streetscape and pedestrian wayfinding enhancement projects, phases 1 and 2. Introductory number 375, amending ordinance number 2018-137, authorizing an agreement for water system improvements. The Parks and Public Works Committee recommends for consideration the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 372, authorizing pavement width changes for Reynolds Street at School Number 2. This report is respectfully submitted by Councilmember Mitch Gruber, Councilmember Elaine M. Spall, Council Vice President Adam C. McFadden, Council President Loretta C. Scott, and myself, Councilmember Malik Evans.
Thank you, Councilmember Evans. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 364, legislation for an intermunicipal agreement with Monroe County for commercial solid waste and recycling services. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 365, legislation for the improvements to the Cobbs Hill basketball courts. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 366, legislation for the East Henrietta Road Improvement Project. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Councilmember Evans, do you have a motion for introductory number 367, a bond ordinance to fund the work related to East Henrietta Road improvements?
Yes, Madam President. I would like to make a motion to amend introductory number 367, changing Staniel Road to Staniel Drive.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor of amending introductory number 367, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Now let's vote on introductory number 367 as amended. This is a bond ordinance and requires a roll call.
Councilmember Clifford?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Lightfoot?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz? Councilmember Patterson? Councilmember Spall?
Yes.
Vice President McFadden? President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 368, legislation for the 2018 Preventive Maintenance Northeast Group 1 project. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 369, a bond ordinance to fund the 2018 Preventive Maintenance Northeast Group 1 project. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Clifford?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Lightfoot?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz? Councilmember Patterson? Councilmember Spall?
Yes.
Vice President McFadden? President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 370, legislation relating to the 2020 Preventive Maintenance Group Project, Maintenance Group Number 11 project. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 371, legislation for the green roof at Frederick Douglass Community Library. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 372, legislation approving geometric changes at 190 Reynolds Street. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 373, legislation authorizing an amendatory agreement for Reynolds Street and Seward Street Rehabilitation Project. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 374, legislation relating to the Main Streetscape and pedestrian wayfinding enhancement projects. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 375, legislation amending ordinance number 2018-137 relating to water system improvements. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Councilmember Lightfoot, the Public Safety, Youth, and Recreation Committee report, please.
Thank you, Madam President, and to this honorable body, the Public Safety, Youth, and Recreation Committee recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introduction number 376, appropriating funds and amending the 2018-19 budget for the operations of Greater Rochester Area Narcotics Enforcement Team. Introduction number 377, authorizing agreement and funding for the Motor Vehicle Theft and Insurance Fraud Prevention Program. Introduction number 378, authorizing an intermunicipal agreement and funding for the Stop DWI program. Introduction number 379, agreement with the City of Rochester District for sharing the maintenance of play apparatus in fields and parks. Introduction number 380, authorizing a grant agreement for the 2018 State Homeland Security Program. And introduction number 381, amending the 2018-19 budget of the Police Department. Introduction number 382, authorizing an agreement and amending the budget for the Flower City AmeriCorps program. And introduction number 388, authorizing an agreement with the United Negro College Fund, Incorporated. Respectfully submitted by Councilmember Mitch Gruber, Councilwoman Jacqueline Ortiz, Vice President Adam C. McFadden, President Larez C. Scott, and myself, Councilman Willie J. Lightfoot.
Thank you, Councilmember Lightfoot. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 376, legislation appropriating funds for a granite vehicle. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 377, legislation for the Motor Vehicle Theft and Insurance Fraud Prevention Grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 378, legislation for the Stop DWI grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 379, legislation for an intermunicipal agreement with the Rochester City School District for the maintenance of play apparatus and fields in parks. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 380, legislation for the 2018 State Homeland Security Program grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 381, legislation for an amendment to the 2018-19 budget of the Police Department. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 382, legislation for the AmeriCorps grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. Introductory number 388, legislation for an agreement for the UNCF for a college fair. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 9-0. I will now give the report of the Committee of the Whole. The Committee of the Whole recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 387, a resolution confirming the appointment of the Director of Emergency Communications. This report is respectfully submitted by Council members Molly Clifford, Malik D. Evans, Mitch Gruber, Willie J. Lightfoot, Jacqueline Ortiz, Michael A. Patterson, Elaine M. Spall, Vice President Adam C. McFadden, and myself, Council President Loretta C. Scott. The report will be received, filed, and published. Now let's vote on introductory number 387, a resolution confirming the appointment of the Director of the Emergency Communications Department. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Congratulations, Director Soretto. Is there any miscellaneous business to come before City Council?
President Scott,
Yes.
may I just take a moment to thank the staff in NBD and Legal and DES, and certainly in the Mayor's office, our partners at City Roots, especially Tim and John Oster and Joe DeFiore and everyone who came together to make Peace Village happen. And it's something to see, and if you haven't had a chance and you want to be respectful, go visit. But lovely, Tex was very happy to see you. I was there early Sunday. You know, it's not the way we forever want people to live. But we have come together, and I'm so proud. Norm and your team, everybody came together. The folks at City Roots, it pushed back. Mitch, you're awesome. Helped us really come to some terms around what the reverter looks like, and it was really a meeting of the minds and together. It's a tremendous board of people. I'm honored to serve as the president, but I just want to thank you all publicly for remembering that being homeless does not mean that you're not fully human, and God bless you. Thank you.
Mayor Warren?
Madam President, I just wanted to thank Councilmember Spall and Gruber for your support and your help with the Peace Village. As was indicated, we want to do everything to make sure that people are in quality housing, and we're doing everything as a city and as a council to give people those housing options. This is a new thing for us, but I think that we have given our most vulnerable citizens a new lease on life. And to go over there and be able to talk to them and to be able to really interact with them and talk about their life and the fact that they didn't even realize that we were going to do it to that caliber. And they said, you know, this is more than what we asked for, and we're so appreciative that the city and city council and everyone took the time to give us something of quality. And I know that I want to thank my team as well, you know, Corporation Council, Tim and Norm, our Commissioner of DES, and Neighborhood and Business Development, John from Neighborhood and Business Development, and Carol Wheeler. They worked diligently, they worked hard to overcome the challenges on this particular piece of property. But we were dedicated to it, and we were able to get it done because of the partnership and the relationships that we have among all of us. And so I just wanted to tell City Council, thank you for stepping out on faith. I do believe that we are giving people a new lease on life because we took the hard step and we did what was right by our most vulnerable citizens. So thank you for doing that. And I also want to thank my team as well, because when, you know, I first suggested it, they looked at me like I was crazy. So, but I appreciate them for just believing in it and, you know, remembering that those individuals are somebody's child. They're somebody's child.
Mayor, one other thing I want to just add, you know, one of the surprising and lovely changes is Mike Tandoy, who owns the piece right by, and well, Loretta, you remember you had to sort of call him to task a little bit. When you go, if you go, and you don't need to, it's not something you just, it's someone's home, so it's not like you should go tour it, but if you happen to go by, you will see that it says Tandoori on all the tents. So he is proud, and on the hats, and he's very proud to be part of this, and it really has changed him as a person, and I know Norm had something to do with that, that's good, but it does tell you how people look at each other as human beings, and your hearts change, so thank you very much.
And we certainly thank you, Mayor, and Councilmember Spall for all of your hard work on this. We appreciate it. With that, unless you all want to just sit and chat, this meeting is adjourned. Okay. We will we'll resume to speak to council for those who are still waiting to speak. So we'll get some order in the chambers quickly.